What's up, everybody? So today we're going to be starting on cloud functions. This is, for me at least, one of the more complex topics when it comes to Firebase and the things we do, but we're going to break it all down, make it all pretty simple that even amateurs can understand. In this video, we're going to create a cloud function that updates our time every 1 minute. So I can speed it up a little bit now, and you should see this updating by itself. Now that might look pretty simple, but there's actually a lot going on in the background in order to make this happen. So one thing you do have to do is update to the Blaze plan, where you pay as you go instead of just a free plan. You have to do this at least for the scheduler, I know for sure, because you're going to be calling functions repeatedly, and in case you go over the limit, you need to be able to pay for it. But your limit is pretty high, and you're still pretty much free overall. Because if we look at the billing and usage, and you'll see here, these are the limits for the free ones until you start getting charged. So we have 2 million per month of free function invocations. If we do one invocation every minute, that's only 40,000 invocations. So it's not even close to the limit. But all right, once you have the Blaze plan, you can go on to the next step. It shows you in here what you can do. And also you can follow along with the Firebase documentation, where it says get started. So the first thing you need is to set up your Firebase CLI. So you're going to need to copy this, and you can see the same thing here. So we can get started with functions. You need to copy that npm install Firebase tools. You can copy that in here, and it should install the Firebase CLI that we need. If we go look at the next step, here it says Firebase init and Firebase deploy, but sometimes if you're not already logged in, you need to do a Firebase login. You'll see if I do Firebase login, it tells me I'm already logged in. So I'm good to go. So the next step was Firebase init. That pretty much initializes your anything with Firebase that you want inside the project. And you'll get a bunch of options. You can select which one you want. So you're ready to proceed? Yes. And here you can initialize database, Firestore, functions, hosting, storage, emulators, anything. We want functions. So we click that, and it'll set up for us. You have two choices for the language you want, either JavaScript or TypeScript. I like to go with JavaScript since I've used JavaScript before, and I feel like there's more content out there to learn JavaScript, but I'm sure TypeScript works just as well, so we'll pick whichever one you want. We're going to choose JavaScript. You want ESLint to help catch probable bugs? Yes, I do. Do you want to install dependencies with npm now? Yes, I do. And there we go. So we have Firebase initialization complete. If you look to all the files on your left, you'll see a new folder called functions. You click in here. Here's a whole bunch of stuff. Here's your linter, which pretty much checks your syntax and stuff like that. And a bunch of stuff I don't really understand, but this is the main file called index.js. This is where you'll actually write your cloud functions. They give you a link to write your first cloud function. We don't really need that. So currently we have everything set up that we need for cloud functions to work properly. We just need to write the actual cloud function code and deploy it to the server. So our plan is to write a function that schedules a timer to update every minute. How we're going to do that is using schedule functions. So always whenever doing something like this, it's good to read through the whole thing, but we don't need to do that here. The way we do this is functions.pubsub.schedule.onRun. They give you some examples, and we can just pretty much copy paste this and see what happens with that. So here we go. What this means, the scheduled function, is the actual name of the function that's going to show up in Firebase Cloud Functions. So we can change this to whatever. We can change this to timer update. Then functions.pubsub.schedule on run is what we saw at the beginning. This is just how you pretty much schedule a function. Pubsub is a publish subscribe method of interacting with Cloud Functions. And this schedule uses a cron timer. So you can use this every 5 minutes, or you can change it to something like this. Where they have stars and 5 and 11, and this is, I'm pretty sure, what Linux uses. So yeah, both Unix, cron tab, and App Engine syntax are supported by Google Cloud Scheduler. So for example, this means it'll run at 11:05 a.m. every day. Here's a pretty handy website that can teach you all about cron time. So you can click random ones and it'll give you what everything means, and this makes it pretty easy to figure out what you need. And you can also type in what you need. So what we're going to do is we're going to have star, 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 and star. So at every minute we want this to update. We can copy paste that in here, and now this will run every single minute. So now inside our function, it's currently not doing anything except printing something. So we can just have a return a print statement, and we'll say successful timer update. Why not? So the next step is we need access to our Firestore database. If we go back to the get started, we can see the fourth step is import the required modules and initialize the app. We have these two lines. Admin equals Firebase -admin. So this says that the Firebase admin SDK to access the Firebase real-time database, but you can also use this to access Firestore as well. So we can paste that in here. Now we have access to our Firebase, and then we can do database equals admin.firestore. So now we have access to our Firestore database as well. So inside the database, we can go to database.document. Which document do you want? We have our document here. In the collection called timers, timer 1. We can just pretend that this timer was set up in a different part of the app. That's not going to be covered here, but we'll just pretend this was already set up for us. So we want to go to timers/timer1, and we want to update that data. And how do we want to update? We want to update the time value to admin.firestore.timestamp.now. And that's it. Our function is done. Not really though. We still need to deploy this function to our Cloud Functions database. So how do you do that? Pretty simple. Make sure your file is saved, and down here do Firebase deploy. And this will take your function and deploy it to here. Deploy it to the backend. So there we go. It says our function is deployed. If you remember, our function was called timer update. So if we go to Cloud Functions again, let's refresh this and see if we see a timer update function. And there we go, timer update. We can go to database now, and in the database we have our timers. So 3:42 May 6th. Let's see what happens and if it works. So it's a little bit delayed the first time, but I bet you the next time it'll be a little faster. The first time the function was still getting put into the cloud and everything. And the more you use it, the faster the functions get. So there, you saw it was even faster this time. And then one more thing I wanted to show. So if you're debugging your code, you don't know how it's working, you can go to logs. Remember when we did console log that successful timer update? So here we actually can see that output. You can log whatever you want here to help you with debugging your cloud functions. And then actually one more thing could help with debugging. You can view this function in your cloud scheduler. So this takes you here to cloud platform. And then if we go to database, we can look at the time again. See, it's 4:05. And we can just go, we just have it run now. We can make it run now, and it's updated to 4:05:50. And this will still update to 4:06, I think. So let's say we had this running a lot longer, and you want to make sure it's working correctly, you could just run now from the cloud scheduler on Google Cloud Platform, and it'll update you as you want. So yeah, that's it. That's a little intro for Cloud Scheduler and Cloud Functions overall. This code will be on GitHub. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. And thank you for watching.